Today we are going to be looking at a very important organ in the body system, that is the kidney. And if you are preparing for any biology exam, we encourage you to stay with us, because in this class we are going to be looking at the function of the kidney as a homeostatic organ, how it functions to maintain the body system. We're going to see some of these functions and how it takes part in this very function of regulating the body system. So what we have here, we want you to have to pay attention as we go through it. What we have here is the kidney. In the kidney, we have the cortex, it has the medulla, which is the central one. The outer part is what we call the cortex. The inner one is the medulla, and then down there we have a funnel-like structure, which is the pelvis. Now we have the pyramid, which is the junction where the waste, the urine pass through into the funnel, and then we have the ureter. Now, kidney, as you can see, is a base-like structure. It plays a very important role in the regulation of the body, in the homeostatic function. Now, what is the homeostasis? Homeostasis simply means maintaining of a steady internal environment, meaning that the temperature of the outside, the humidity or whatever that happen around you might not really affect the inside. So the inside body maintains a steady condition, which is not affected by what is happening in the surrounding. Now, one of the functions of this kidney, the kidney plays a very important role in waste management, waste removal of waste products, and also regulating water balance. Talk about water balance, and then also pH. It handles the pH, and also control salts balance too, or ions balance. Can also regulate the blood pressure. So one of all these things, how does the kidney do this kind of work? One of the ways the kidney happen to do this work. Now, for example, I'll just give you a brief. I have to give you some brief information on how they operate this. In the water balance, when the surrounding cell is hypertonic, that is when the temperature, when the concentration of the cell, of the concentration of the salt or substances in the surrounding fluid around the cell is too much, what will happen? In order to reduce based on osmosis, which I believe all of us by now you should know what osmosis means. Movement of water fluid will pass from the cell to outside because of the hypertonic environment. It's existing hypertonic environment. The hypertonic environment will cause water to flow from the cell to the outside. So the kidney, the body system, through the help of the kidney, will not allow this to happen. Rather, what will happen? More ions in the surrounding will be secreted, excreted from the system. It will be excreted from the system to reduce the concentration of the outside, making the cell to balance. So when by releasing, when the pH, let's say the cell now, we're talking about the cells, this is the cell, and the cell in the body. Now, when the pH here is high, the concentration of the surrounding to the pH, hydrogen ion concentration is very high in the surrounding. What happens here? What will happen? More of the chloride ions and will be removed from the system, and more sodium ion will be allowed to stay in order to increase the pH. These are some of the things the kidney does. So another thing I want us to understand here is that how the kidney play a role of removing of waste product like urine. So one of the things it does in the, let me give you a little drawing of this. I want to be a bit far. I don't want this thing to long. I don't want the video to be long. Although I have a video where I have really done this work. I have a video on this. So this is just a sketch of what it should look like. This is the capillaries surrounding it. So what happens here? This is where the ultrafiltration takes place. Ultrafiltration takes place. The first filtration that takes place here, the filtration that takes place here in the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus here, results to kind of fluid or the waste product. Sometimes when they are coming in, they come with some other materials. So as they enter into this place, what happens is that this place is the place we call filtration, ultrafiltration. The filtration takes place here, the first one. Now, as the filtration takes place here, everything will get in. Everything gets in here, and there will be reabsorptions around this tubule or nephron. There will be reabsorption of what materials like water. Water can be reabsorbed. If the body needs more water, water can be reabsorbed here. The ions, there's something like sodium ion, any of the vitamins can also be reabsorbed. As this thing is going on here, I'm getting to this other part. The absorption will continue until it gets to this other end. Now, there is also a situation where there will be secretion of enzyme that help to stimulate this very activity. So once you get to this point now, the urine is already formed. The urine will pass down through the pelvis, down to ureter, down to urethra, the bladder. From there, it passes on. So that's one of the things you should know about this kidney. So these are some of the basic things. I talk about osmoregulation. That is regulation of water balance in the system, or osmoregulation. We'll talk about again, we say that the kidney does a work of regulating the pH, regulating the blood pressure, and also what again did we say? We say that it also remove waste products. Now, formation of urine, that means formation of urine. Talking about filtration, we'll talk about the first process is what? Filtration. After the filtration, the next thing we'll have there is what? Reabsorption. Reabsorption of water, reabsorption of vitamins, all those things that will be passing from here. And the next one we should also note here is what? Secretion. We normally, in most cases, antidiuretic hormone is released in order to help in this work, which is secretion of what? Hormones. And then the last one was excretion, removing the waste, which is the final stage of this. I want you to know this thing very well. Very, very important. This is a very, very important point that you should note. A very important takeaway. Yes, a very important takeaway from this class today. And now I want to give you some possible exam questions you might be expecting. One of the questions they might be asking you should be, what is homeostasis, and why is it very important? Why is it very important in the body? And then we can also look at how it helps, how homeostasis helps the body to maintain its internal system. We also look at, you can also expect the definition of homeostasis, and also what will happen, when the kidney fails. When the kidney fails, all these functions will not occur anymore. So you might always also be expecting a situation where they will ask you to explain what happened when the kidney could not function anymore. So thank you so much if you're able to come this far. And then if this video is very, very helpful to you, I will encourage you to hit the subscription button, share, and then so that it will get to more people. And then don't forget to like, and